do you describe a good radio station?
Oh, it should educate, give information, and entertain.
You got it right, girl.
Yes, she really did. And the good news is, we have a radio station that gives it all, even more.
Wow, we want to know.
Pensioners FM 106.7 is the radio station. We broadcast to every nook and cranny. We thrill you with logical planning of our programs. We remain your number one source of information. Talk of adverts? No station does it better. Pensioners FM 106.7. Voice of Liberation.
The scores, the news, the update, and the world of sports on Sports Spectra.
Pensioners 106.7 FM. The voice of liberation.
And Real Madrid continue their strong start to the season with a commanding 4-1 victory over Levante in the La Liga clash at the Estadio Ciutat de Valencia last night. That was a matchday 6 encounter that was played at the La Liga. So welcome to the program this morning. The Sports Spectra on Pensioners 106.7 FM, Agbarigo Onireke Ibadan, the voice of liberation. The Flavor Radio in the universe. I am EEDRIS ABIOLA. Where exactly are we headed this morning? Where are we going to? Let's tell you that Nigeria's under-17 national team, Golden Eaglets of Nigeria, are going to start their campaign at the West African Football Union WAFU Regional Tournament in the Ivory Coast with an opener against the Baby Cheetahs of Benin Republic today. The feature is going to be played at the Stade de Lee Scientific in Yamoussoukro, and it is to see Nigeria to secure the 3 points on offer, while Benin will be eyeing a positive outcome following their steam-winner defeat at the hands of Baby Stallions of Burkina Faso during their opening group match. And head coach of the Nigerian side, Manu Garba, who previously guided Nigeria to under-17 World Cup glory in 2013 and under-20 AFCON title 2 years later, has now been saddled with the task of securing a ticket for the next under-17 AFCON tournament. Nigeria have been drawn in Group B at the WAFU Regional Tournament, which consists of just 3 countries, including the Benin Republic and Burkina Faso. Host nation Ivory Coast are in Group A alongside Ghana, Togo, and the Niger Republic. The Junior Elephants of Ivory Coast began their campaign with a 2-0 victory over Niger, while Togo and Ghana battled to a 1-0 draw as the tournament kicked off last weekend. The 2025 WAFU B competition will serve as qualifiers for West African teams in the region ahead of next year's CAF Under-17 AFCON. The continent representatives from that event, I'm talking about the continent representative from CAF Under-17 AFCON tournament, will secure their places in the 2026 FIFA Under-17 World Cup, which is set to take place in Qatar. We're wishing the Nigeria's Under-17 national team, the Golden Eaglets, very good outing right there in Ivory Coast. Away from football briefly this morning, let's tell you that long jumper Eze Brume has said she didn't receive $30,000 in support from the National Sports Commission after she was involved in an accident last year. A popular Nigerian sport account on social media claimed Brume received $30,000 from the NSC, and that account shared a post via their Instagram page credited to one Tope Shaolu, where the writer credited the NSC for giving the long jumper $30,000 after the incident. However, the 29-year-old refuted the claims via her Instagram story. Brume's coach Kaode Yaya also confirmed that Brume insisted on participating at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo where she gained entry through a continental title and world ranking. Remember that Brume survived a ghastly accident which also claimed her life in the US last year, but it ultimately truncated her season. It was even said that the vehicle nearly plunged off a bridge and she sustained serious injuries and trauma from the crash. It was evident when she competed at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, where she finished in an uncharacteristic 10th place in a qualifying group and 19th overall. That's coming from Eze Brume this morning. And quickly to tennis, where Nigeria's tennis player Quadri Aruna has been able to retain his position as the country's leading light in the latest International Table Tennis Federation rankings for week 39, which was released yesterday. Aruna remains 27th in the global men's standings with a total of 1,185 points, keeping him firmly ahead of his African rivals. But the 36-year-old is still in the continent's number one, holding off the Egyptian trio of Omar Asa, who sit 32nd with 930 points, Youssef Abdelaziz in 50th on 550 points, and Mohamed ABIOLA in 97 with 269 points. Benes Abdelkader Salifu complete Africa's top 5. And globally, China continues to dominate the men's rankings. Wang Chuqin holds the world number one spot with 9,425 points, narrowly ahead of compatriot Lin Shidong on 9,375 points. With continental bragging rights and qualification for the 2026 ITTF World Team Championships at stake, Nigeria's leading players will be under pressure to convert their rankings into medals when the tournament begins on the 12th of October. So let's talk boxing this morning. We understand that boxing promoter Nakisa Bidarian has revealed that Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua are still set to fight despite numerous setbacks. Paul and Joshua were believed to be in advanced talks with a date penciled in for the pair to clash in early 2026. Shortly after that, the announcement came that Paul will be meeting Gervonta Davis in an exhibition bout instead of fighting Joshua. And as the YouTuber turned boxer, I'm talking about Jake Paul, now gears up to meet Davies on the 14th of November. The promotional tour began on Monday night in New York. Despite it being the launch press conference for the bout between Paul and Davies, questions were unsurprisingly circulating regarding the former's plans to fight Joshua. And most valuable promotions co-founder Bidarian confirmed to assembled media that a fight between the rivals is still very much on the cards. Still in boxing this morning, Cuban heavyweight veteran Luis Ortiz has called out both rising star Moses Itoma and former two-time unified world champion Anthony Joshua after scoring the first round stoppage victory at the weekend. The 46-year-old Ortiz returned to the ring and stopped overmatched opponent Philip Benson at the Caribe Royale before setting his sight on bigger names in the heavyweight division. Speaking afterwards, Ortiz laid out his ambitious targets for his next fight. Joshua and Itoma are at different ends of their career, but both find themselves being targeted by the same heavyweight veteran. Joshua, remember, is a former two-time unified world champion. He hasn't fought in 2025 since his 5th round knockout loss to the then IBF champion Daniel Dubois in 2024, as he has been recovering from a minor elbow injury. Itoma, on the other hand, is as active as a man at his stage should be. He has had 13 fights since turning professional in 2023, winning 11 by knockout and 9 of those inside the first 2 rounds. And the last time out, I also remember the 20-year-old Itoma stopped Dillian White inside 2 rounds and is now looking forward towards his first world title shot. But the big question is, can he get it? Will he get it? If he does get it, is he going to win it? Those are the questions Itoma will be asking himself. But we move away from boxing. Let's talk about mixed martial arts, where former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya is now preparing for a return to the octagon before the end of the year. Adesanya's longtime coach Eugene Berman made this known on a rodeo program, and despite speculation that the 36-year-old could be nearing retirement, Berman insists Adesanya is fully focused on fighting again in the coming months. He was speaking recently on a Monitor radio program. The City kickboxing head coach revealed that his fighter has returned to full-time training after taking a break following his most recent defeat. Berman explained that Adesanya is committed to preparing himself both physically and mentally for a comeback. Adesanya has indeed endured a difficult spell in his career, losing 3 consecutive bouts since reclaiming the belt with a knockout of Alex Pereira in April 2023. While the identity of his next opponent remains unclear, Bearman suggested Adesoya will be open to any matchup that excites him. If you're just tuning in this morning, it's Sports Spectra and Pensioners 106.7 FM. About 10 minutes gone past the hour of 8, and we're still riding. Let's talk football again. Real Madrid continued a strong start to the season with a commanding 4-1 victory over Levante in their La Liga clash at the Estadio Ciutat de Valencia last night. Vinicius Jr. broke the deadlock in the 28th minute, finishing off a sweeping move to put Madrid ahead. 10 minutes later, 17-year-old Franco Mastantuono doubled the advantage with a fine strike. Levante showed resilience after the break, and they were rewarded in the 54th minute when Eta Eyong converted the chance to reduce the deficit. However, Real Madrid restored control late in the game. Kylian Mbappe came alive in the closing stages, scoring twice to seal victory and maintain Madrid's momentum at the top of the table. The result further cements Real Madrid's title credentials with their blend of youthful talent and world-class stars proving decisive. And victory marked Real Madrid's 4th successive away league win for the first time since May 2024. For Levante, the result leaves them struggling near the bottom end of the standings. Let's see what other results were in the La Liga last night. Espanyol Valencia share sports 2-2. Athletic Club and Girona share sports 1-1. Villarreal beat Sevilla 2-1. Real Sociedad, Mallorca will face today. 8:30 p.m. tonight. Getafe hosts Alaves. Atletico Madrid will play Real Vallecano. Osasuna will play Elche. And Oviedo tomorrow will be playing Barcelona. So in the Carabao Cup third round, Liverpool advanced from the EFL Cup round after a dramatic 2-1 win over Southampton at Anfield. The rest took the lead just before the break when summer signing Alexander Isak marked his first goal for the club in the 43rd minute. Southampton clawed their way back into the game in the 76th minute. With extra time looming, Liverpool responded swiftly. Substitute Hugo Ekitike restored the lead in the 85th minute with a decisive finish once again after good work from Chiesa, who turned provider for the second time on the night, and the joy quickly turned to concern when Ekitike, in the heat of celebration, removed his shirt and was shown a second yellow card, reducing Liverpool to 10 men for the final meeting. But the numerical disadvantage that Liverpool suffered, Arne Slot's side managed the closing stages with discipline, holding off Southampton's late push to secure the victory. Chelsea also battled back to beat Lincoln 2-1. The result of other games in the EFL Cup third round. So yesterday, Sheffield Wednesday lost to Grimsby Town 1-0. Brentford, of course, beat Aston Villa 4-2 on penalties. And Crystal Palace also got the job done. Fulham beat Cambridge United 1-0. Wigan Athletic lost to Wycombe 2-0. Barnsley suffered in the hands of Brighton 6-0. Let's tell you that today, Huddersfield will host Manchester City, Newcastle will host Bradford City, Port Vale and Arsenal, while Tottenham Hotspur will be playing host to Doncaster. So sharp Europa League matches. The first group phase games will be playing today, where we understand FC Midtjylland will be able to play Storm Graz by 5:45 p.m. PAOK against Maccabi Tel Aviv. Dinamo Zagreb will host Fenerbahce. Resta Belgrade will be in action against Celtic. Freiburg against Basel. Malmo against Ludogorets. Nice against AS Roma. Real Betis will play Nottingham Forest. SC Braga will host Feyenoord. And of course, remember Atletico Madrid, Getafe and Real Sociedad will play the game in the La Liga today. And as we sign off this morning, Barcelona midfielder Gavi is said to miss up to 5 months after undergoing surgery on a knee injury. Gavi has not played since August, with Barca initially hoping conservative treatment to resolve the problem without needing to resort to surgery. However, Barca will travel to face Real Oviedo tomorrow in La Liga before welcoming Real Sociedad on Sunday and then hosting Paris Saint-Germain next week at the Champions League. Let's see. Gavi is not set to return until early 2026. Let's see what will happen. But as we push, Arsenal forward Noni Madueke is also expected to be sidelined for up to 2 months with a knee injury. He went off at halftime in Arsenal's 1-0 draw against Man City on Sunday, but the source confirmed he underwent a scan on Monday. And lastly, this morning, FIFA President Gianni Infantino met yesterday in New York with South American Football Confederation CONMEBOL President Alejandro Dominguez and leaders of 3 South American soccer federations to discuss the expansion of the men's 2030 World Cup to 64 teams. CONMEBOL's proposal for expansion was first introduced in March by a delegate from Uruguay during an online meeting of the ruling council of World Football's governing body. And that's how we sign off this morning. Thank you so much for joining. And very many thanks to my producer, Babatunde Tamiyu. I am Idris Abela. Good morning and have a fun-filled Wednesday for yourself. Bye-bye.